Lack of Duchess Kate photos at James's wedding spells crisis for Meghan and Harry. Kate's brother, James Middleton, got married over the weekend, and images, or lack thereof, from the big day expose a royal miscalculation. The House of Windsor has a pretty bad track record when it comes to French getaways. It was in Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, lost her life. It was there, in the heat of the South, that the paparazzi's photographs of Sarah, Duchess of York, were secretly taken, thus introducing the world to delight. And in 2012, a lone paparazzi captured a topless shot of Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, sunbathing. But this weekend may have just broken the Windsor Channel curse, adding at least one fond memory to the plus column for the royal family. William and Kate, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and their 3 children traveled to Côte d'Azur for her brother James Middleton's wedding to longtime girlfriend Alizée Thevenet. Middleton announced the wedding news via Instagram, where else, and he posted a photo of himself and his new wife. Sorry, now for a bit of sadness. Regrettably, no pictures have emerged to date of the Cambridges celebrating the family's big day, thus negating us the sheer happiness of seeing Kate finish in an Amelia Wickstead / Philip Treacy look cost the same as a small car. The world dittoed was turned down when he saw the couple's 3 children displaying an adorable florist boy and girl on the page. However, it was highly unlikely that any of the photos will appear. James, like their little sister Pippa, is always the image to behold when it comes to his future queen sister, and the Cambridges themselves only post about work or events related to the royal family on their social media channels. Sad hashtags. However, the interesting thing here is the paparazzi situation. It must be said that there is not a single image emerges of Kate and William flying to France or over France, a far cry from the days when Fleet Street and the aggressive and relentless snappers preyed on anyone with an HRH. And there's a certain cruel irony when you contrast this with the state of play and the reality that Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, now face, having traded their working lives for the royal family to get peace in the United States, far, far away from the long arm of the courtiers in the British press, which they vehemently disliked. Since setting foot on American soil about 18 months ago, the Sussexes have found themselves firmly in the sights of photographers after partly leaving the UK to stay away from the British media. But their new sunny Californian existence didn't exactly turn out to be some sort of nirvana-like break from the hungry Fourth Estate. In fact, more and more people are claiming that by leaving the palace, they jumped out of the pan and into the fire. One day, in the fullness of time, Harry is going to sit down and realize what an idiot he was to be roped by his wife into that interview with Oprah. There's no doubt in my mind that Harry was unaware of how far the sniping at the royal family would go. By the time he came into the camera shot, the damage was already underway, and he looked distinctly uncomfortable with it all. His wife orchestrated his responses by keeping a controlling hand on his arm throughout. It was a setup, and the victims were the royal family and Harry himself. Some people blame Oprah, but I think she was too taken in by Harry's wife. I mean, who in their right mind would go on national television and tell a string of lies against an institution such as the royal family? It beggars belief at the sheer stupidity of the Sussexes. One day, someday, Harry will remember that interview and shudder. Less than a week after the couple dropped their Megxit bombs on the world last year, Meghan was put on a seaplane on the Canadian island where they now live. Days later, the Duchess and their son Archie, then 8 months old, were photographed while hiking. The royals subsequently filed a lawsuit against the image company, Splash, over the photos, with the claim settled last December. Not long after moving to Los Angeles in March, they sat on Pap's sofas and were filmed delivering meals to a local charity. Since then, the family has had drones fly over their borrowed Los Angeles mansion. Harry and Meghan were secretly photographed while hiking in LA. On a double date in Montecito, Harry plays with his dogs on the beach. Harry, on both occasions, returned to America from Great Britain, and Meghan picked up Archie from preschool. In May, Harry revealed during an appearance on a podcast he and neighbor Orlando Bloom were texting each other while in the paparazzi were lurking. When the revised edition of Seeking Freedom was released, the couple were angry after being photographed leaving a medical appointment after the former Suits star suffered a severe miscarriage. Today, the disparity between the lives of the Cambridges and the Sussexes, as it appears in the press, could not be clearer. When Harry and Meghan were bailed on life in Britain, they also lost the relative security of the treaty that existed between the palace and the press. Rushed after the arrival of Prince George, the British media did not take any small pictures of the royals in private moments. And in return, Kensington Palace provides the public with regular, intimate photos of children as they grow up. Everyone wins, and no one gets chased in the streets of Chelsea. And that's why, for example, George and Charlotte have been spotted cycling in the vast public park that surrounds Kensington Palace on multiple occasions. Are those pictures plastered all over the front pages? Are not. This northern summer, the Cambridge family vacationed on Sealy's Cornish Island and were seen sailing off the Norfolk coast near their rural Amner Hall mansion. Not a single photo of these moments has appeared anywhere. Likewise, the world has never seen children being dropped off or picked up from their Thomas Battersea school. Plus, here are the dentist appointments, play dates, tennis lessons, and transportation to and from the Hurlingham Club sports make up their lives. The same goes for Kate, who is very rarely seen by photographers while she's on duty. It looks like their cousins, Archie and Lily Mountbatten-Windsor, will be able to say the same in the years to come. It's hard to see how they, 7th and 8th, will be able to grow up without facing the constant malicious gaze of predatory paps. A situation that seemed only possible becomes more painful. As they enter their later teens and young adults, where is Kate? The downside of the paparazzi-free area the Cambridges currently live in is that today we still can't solve the mystery of what happened to Kate, with the Duchess not being seen in public for 65 days. In fact, her absence from the public is only becoming more and more conspicuous. The most obvious explanation for her active disappearance is that she may be pregnant with the couple's 4th child and is suffering from extreme morning sickness known as nausea, and much as she used to with her previous 3 pregnancies. She's a serious military woman. If precedent counts for anything here, and Kate is very happy again, we may not have to wait too long for the good news, as both her 2nd and 3rd pregnancies are over and have been announced in September. So if the Cambridges are about to become a family of 6, it will be a bright spot for the Queen after a year of personal devastation, facing the death of Prince Philip and watching the royal house slowly come under pressure, sunk by family drama and scandal. Imagine a really lovely, heartwarming event involving the palace and no sign of a lawyer being called in, Oprah involved, a prince sued for sexual assault, a future king accused of silently donating to monstrous charities, or anyone having a crisis at all. It will really be a miracle.